And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Terra Invicta in our resistance run. Let's take a look at our mission objectives here. Close the gate. So, we probably went over this at the end of the last stream. So if you're on YouTube and you're watching this video immediately after the last one, sorry, this may be a little bit duplicative. But we're working towards completing our goals here. Our objective is to get the Counselor out to the alien's primary base in the Cooper Belt and carry out a close the gate mission. Right? To do that, we need to complete the rest of these objectives first. We've completed probably what may hypothetically be one of the harder ones, which is get all the alien regions off of Earth. So they've got no control of Earth. We've kicked them out of Mercury, we've kicked them out of Earth, we kicked them out of Mars, planetary systems. We haven't kicked them out of the asteroid belts, so they still have 3 locations in the asteroid belts. I believe on 2 Palos and that might have been Ceres. 2 Palos and Ceres, I think they're at. It might be Vesta. Might be 4 Vesta. Might be 2 Palos and 4 Vesta. But they basically got two bases. They got an orbital base and they got I think they got 2 orbital bases and a mine or something. We've driven them out of Jupiter. Jupiter will probably be where most of our volatile expansion comes from. Going forward. Although, right here at the beginning of the stream, I think we're going to do a review of the bases on Mars and try to maximize the yield we're getting from Mars. We have started on Saturn, and notably is they have a base on Titan, which we can't just UV laser. But once we get rid of what's left in Saturn, we'll be over to Uranus. After Uranus will be Neptune. Most of their remaining stuff does appear to be in the Uranus system. So Uranus, Neptune, and then there's sort of the outer system, which includes things like Pluto, and then defeating their fleets. We've got them down to 9 fleets now. So that's where we're sitting objective-wise. Mission control, we're up to 523 out of 665. I think it's showing it as orange here because we're actually over the mine limit. Not because we're like in danger of exceeding our mission control cap. And we're probably going to set up more mines. We're probably just going to accept that we're going to be over the mine cap limit at this point. Go back down to Earth. Our sections of Earth that we control are probably getting more and more stable, facilitating us to move farther afield. The United States, where we started, is basically stable. It basically doesn't need any more accounts, I'll be able to say. We do have Nihid on basically permanent devise there, mainly to provide the 25% more development points and the 25% more science. This is one of our bigger science locations. And because we have merged a bunch of sort of Central America into the United States, we do have a decent amount of mission control where we can still get here. Got sustainability 10, so every investment in environment here is helping to keep environmental change under control. And we've gotten to the point where we've got that stable. So the environment isn't necessarily getting better, but it isn't necessarily getting worse, which is probably where we want it to be. Although we'd probably appreciate getting better. Especially as we start to own more and more stuff. The economy here is growing reasonably quickly. Would probably like it to actually go up fairly high. We can get it high enough that it'll start to mitigate population decline, and the United States will start to grow. We control Japan, which is also pretty good, pretty stable. If anything, probably a little too cohesive, but that's fine. China, for totalitarian nations, doing pretty well. We need to improve the economy before we start ending the totalitarianness of its government. Control Russia, again, totalitarian government, so we need to improve the economy, although we can probably worsen the economy here. Or probably worsen the cohesion here earlier and sooner. We're probably at the point where I should actually revisit and do something like that. We'll have to watch it as this goes on. But we're going to start improving the government here. We probably at this want something like 8 cohesion to the 20,000 GDPC. So we definitely don't need the cohesion that high, and thus we can accept the autocracy going on. India, again, it's authoritarian. India, we need to improve the economy. So China, India, we need to improve the economy in both these places before we back off of the authoritarianism. Even sort of the same thing with the EU. EU, we need to improve the... well, we're improving the authoritarian, the government here. Because yes, we do need to improve cohesion, but we're in the weird spot in the middle where cohesion is just bad. There's no way around it. Cohesion's bad in the middle. We're hoping to bring that up. It's supposed to be stable around 0.26. Hopefully that will improve. And then as council actions permit, we will probably slowly try to expand our larger nations. So in Bangladesh, I think it's 57 days here. We'll be able to leave the West African community. I believe at that point we should be able to bring it into the India community. Yeah, we should be able to bring it into the India community at that point. EU, we apparently control Bulgaria. We just ended the rivalry. Just made the allies with EU. So come January, so not next month, but a little bit deeper into next month, we can bring it into the union status, or in the federation of the EU, and then a little bit later merge it into the EU proper. And we can do a lot more merging with the European Union. Oh, and I didn't spend the time to go through the text to figure out what text we're missing to get the EU to want to unify with the Eurasian Union. I know there is a tech that, or a project that does that. So that's the size of Earth, or at least the size of the territory we control. There is still quite a few alien megafauna bouncing around, specifically in South America. There's a bunch. 422, 42, 11111. I remember at one point we were trying to attack the alien nation when they were in, I think, Bogota here in Colombia. They had like a 20 stack of alien megafauna. So we're working to deal with the megafauna. The megafauna are starting to shrink in quantity. Now the aliens have suffered a pretty severe setback. So that's the state of the world here at the beginning of the stream, construction-wise. We're not building anything at Mercury last I checked. Yeah, nothing at Mercury. We have a dock at Venus, so we want to refuel Venus. Nothing at Earth. Could potentially build something at Earth, but we'll probably build it in Mars instead. We got a couple. I think technically these are the Lagrange points, but got a couple of them there. Do we only have 6 docks at Mars? Maybe I'm not building that at Mars. Probably build it at Earth then. Yeah, probably building it at Earth then. And then this is the Jupiter stations. Got a place, refueling place at Callisto, and then this is Saturn. Once we start getting time moving, we're going to get a couple of Marines loaded ships. I suppose we can go check to see if that would be enough to take over Titan. I suspect it isn't, in which case we need to build more. Although I probably want to wait long enough for these to upgrade from shipyards to shipworks, so they build faster. So yeah, Mars is where I would ideally want to build it. We're going to build it at Earth because the Mars docks are not up to snuff. So let's get some ships being built. So these are probably going to want to be colony ships in case we need to throw down a tab to get refueling access for a couple of these ships. So the colony ships have the outpost kits, right? So we're going to want, like, say, 2 of those. they're also function as my point defense ships when I have them in fleets. And then we'll do some of the F6 long-range version 2s. Pull those laser engines on them. And the plasma batteries. These will serve as the main combat ships. This is what we're going to send off to deal with the asteroid belt once these are built. So in 185 days, we'll have ships to go deal with the asteroid belt. Over at Saturn, we do have a fleet refitting into the version 2s at shipyards. They'd probably be building faster if they were building at shipworks. So I should, once these are done, I should remember to upgrade everything to shipworks so that we can get faster construction at Obey. If we need to do more construction at Saturn itself. With all this done, we should in theory be able to clear out the rest of the Saturn system and make the jump to Neptune. That's the ships. Hab-wise, I want to probably start to optimize our yields. So the first place we're going to go is we're going to go to Mars. Are all our Habs tier 3? No, not all the Habs are tier 3. In fact, I have a Hab that doesn't even have a mine. Oh dear. Let's fix you. Not particularly a great place for volatiles. Most of the modules here I don't need replacement. Yeah, no, I don't need the nanofactory. Yeah, we'll repair the admin tower. And the mine. Okay. Everything else appears to be tier 3, okay. So one of the things we're going to want to do at Mars is not all of these places are going to actually have their mine improved. Demos does, Olympus Mon does, or maybe they do, and maybe I am misreading the situation. Although I'm going from top to bottom, so place that has the most volatiles has a tier 3 mine, so on and so forth. For here's an example, one that does not have a tier 3 mine. So we're going to want to start upgrading these as we can. We got Skunk Works here. Do I have some science income here? I do have some science income here. Okay. So we're going to plop in the mine upgrade. And that should meet the sort of minimum requirements that I want right now for this place. Obviously, we're going to have to be careful with doing this, because as we go through here and upgrade the mines, we're going to lose a bunch of volatile income. So we can't just do this everywhere right now. You've got tier 3. You've got tier. You've got tier 2, but you're also not upgraded to tier 3. So we'll upgrade the Hab to tier 3. Okay. I'm gonna want a farm here, so everybody's being fed. We're gonna want a Skunk Works and some science everywhere, every one of these Habs. That way we can be fishing for some of the good events. We may come back and do some other stuff to these later, but for the moment this is what. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to save this template so that all the situations where we have something that looks exactly like that, which I think is going to be quite a few. Example here. You can apply the template. Apply the new template. And as I can see, I've apparently, that was, the template that we're upgrading here apparently was already basically there. I've used it a couple times apparently. This isn't necessarily giving us a lot of science. Although the project gears might add up after quite a bit. The big thing here is this is going to give us access to a couple of events on Wolves locations. Okay, this one's one we're going to have to evaluate. Got Skunkworks, got Science, it's power positive, the mine is tier 3. Okay, so that's good enough for the moment. Pompeii has Science, has a Skunkworks, okay. We're in the list. There. Chevalier. Is in the process of... No, it has a bunch of destroyed stuff. Okay. Has no Science, has no Skunkworks, but does have a functional mine otherwise. Okay. Upgrade that to defense building, because we already got the other one. It'll do a military one over one of the broken buildings. Yeah. And to be fair, we got quite a few Mars Habs, because we have all 25 Mars Habs at this point. Nope, that's a tier 3 one, so we don't want to upgrade the core. And then we'll have to come back to it once the core is upgraded. Same here. You're upgraded. You are providing Science. You have a Skunkworks. Skunkworks Science, upgraded into mine. No Skunkworks, not an upgraded mine. And the admin tower is not up to date. Okay, so we should have enough power when it's done being built, although we're going to want to probably put another fusion reactor in here for power reasons, so we can operate a military, a Skunkworks here. Tier 3, we can upgrade this one as well to the template. Has Science, has a Skunkworks, has a working mine. Good enough. No Skunkworks. Does have Science, so I should come in here and show the Skunkworks in somewhere. Probably more power, but looks like we've got too many point defense arrays. Oh, Xenology Lab, okay. Like, where am I still getting science from? And it's, Xenology Labs. Want a Skunk Works, which is there. Overwrite one of the destroyed ones. I will go ahead and we will upgrade the Xenology Labs, just because they're here. I think we're far enough in the tech tree where the Xenology Labs aren't necessarily particularly great for us. They are what they are. That was Purling. That's Skunk Work in Science. That's Skunk Work in Science. Again, also has tier 3 mines. You're upgrading the core. You're the orbital. Do I have enough food here? And the answer is no. In fact, we've got no food here, which is why the place is running a food deficit. That makes sense. It'll need more power. No. Well, we'll need more power because we'll need to upgrade the farm. So let's drop a fusion reactor farm. How much do I need for another 2 spaceworks here? Actually, wait, why? Oh, because no, we do have volatile positive. It's the fact that the spaceworks have upkeep on the volatile, so I actually don't need to upgrade the farm unless I want to put more crew here. I should probably want to put more crew here. And manufacturing here, this is where we're getting our construction in Mars orbit. I know science, so we do want some science. So fusion, reactor. Might as well upgrade the agricultural farm. 1 military science. There's the military science one. And it's Skunk Works. Now, if we want to run it denser, we probably could run it denser by upgrading some of the heavy fission reactors to fusion reactors and changing some of the other modules, but I think this is what we're going to run here. And we're at 53.7 volatiles. Mainly, I think, actually due to mines upgrading. Although some of those will generate quite a bit more volatiles when they're upgraded. So this is about as many volatiles. I wanted to do what I can to improve volatile production without dropping below 50. Which is about where we are at. So we're going to wait for some of that to complete. So back on Earth, what do we want you to do so we can get to actually advancing some time, 23 minutes into the video? So we got 2 people improving and rest in the EU. Yeah, you should probably be improving and rest in the EU.
We'll make things safe.
Can I afford to do a bunch of welfare direct investment in the EU? No, because the EU is incredibly expensive to do welfare in. Okay. It's environment that's the one that's pretty cheap. Okay. And we do want to do environment. We want the environment decently high in places before we start to really invest in economy. Let's back off 1 tick and go into some economy in the EU. Because one of the things that's lowering our cohesion is actually the decline in GDP. So if we get the GDP to start coming up, or at least stabilize, then we'll have less cohesion issues there. So let's confirm assignments. Let's get some time passing. There we go. 968. So we got you 2. Let's send you to Titan. get there in 1.25 weeks. We do want you to be able to go there and back, so don't go maximum burn. 2-week burn out, 2-week burn in. Okay. And this is mainly to check to see if we can actually sell the place. And they were at high Phobos. So you're at Skanderberg. So if that's the case, we should upgrade the Skanderberg stuff. So let's upgrade the second farm. It doesn't need the second one at the moment. We'll start upgrading it anyway. Not going to upgrade the original battle station. We got an old one. That'll work fine.
I can turn with my back to the wall and you might have a little more. No, I don't think. We're like I'm hooked on some way. I can't tell you where you think we are. There.
Do we have... We have some science here, so we have the military module. Okay.
Safety. Oh boy, I'm glad I'm not an inch shorter. Okay, coming down, Jack. You ready? Go ahead. 35.
Okay, so that is enough power. You are going to want to do the manufacturing upgrade, which means we're going to need more power. No, actually we don't need more power. That would be enough power. I will go ahead and upgrade the fusion reactor anyway, because we can afford to do the upgrade right now power-wise. Okay. We'll have some surplus power. We'll have surplus 500 power. We can decide what we want to put in those build slots afterwards. And then the rest of our construction should be in the other Phobos orbit. Yeah. So we need to be waiting on about 250 days to do basically the same as the other one. Which isn't too bad. Okay, back to Earth. Orbital environment ends for being continue.
Offering assistance.
Orbital environment ends because we've actually cleared the alien megafauna. Or at least I assume that's what we did. Panic. This is the United States. Let's run its course or calm the public. I think calm the public. It probably wouldn't be that hard to recover the democracy either, but let's not do that.
Things are cooling off.
Things are cooling off.
Okay, Bangladesh is stable.
Things are stabilizing. Things are stabilizing.
The EU needs more
Things are
work,
cooling off.
and we'll probably continue needing more work, but... Okay, so they've arrived at low tide in orbit. Your likely success with assaulting the base is 0%. So yeah, we're gonna need more. We got 80 assault power. The base has got somewhere between 251 and 283 based on what we're being told. So we probably only need to increase the fleet by 5 more ships. Right, so that would be 4 more would be another 160. Yeah, about 200. So that brings us up to 280. that would probably be in the range where we'd be rolling. And that's probably good enough. We can probably accept to be rolling on that check. So we'll get these guys back to Skanderberg. Again, we'll save fuel. We know they're not going to get their reinforcements until the shipyards are replaced. So. Deploying some more troops. Polar vortex, oh that's not good. At least we can afford to fix it as much as we can. Oh no, because we got mines in the process of upgrading. So the mines in the process of upgrading don't count against us. Is what's going on? Okay. New ring core somewhere. Oh, this is one of the bases we built. Space hospitals. That'll be nice when that comes along. Sorry about that. Nose acting up a bit. Okay, so Bangladesh is stable. We can't pull it out the Federation for another 26 days. That's actually fine. We're not in a rush there. Not in a complete rush there. EU is not as stable as we'd like it, but it's stable-ish. Let's have one of you guys stabilize the United States. We'll have both of them stabilize the United States.
Standing by.
That should get it stable, and then we can go do other stuff on the next cycle.
We'll restore peace to this nation.
Yeah, I do want environment subsidize the environment a bit. Let's go give that a pass. Foreign investment in the environment in India. India, we really want to be heavily investing into economy. Specifically because, obviously, the economy in India is real bad at the moment. And if it wasn't for the fact that India had ended up quite authoritarian, we'd be having stability issues in India. Because of its low GDP.
Offering support.
More national investment in military. Maybe Navy. Navy can wait a bit. It's mostly combat-related stuff. Here's another military one. Grab that one. Environmental degradation will fund the subsidies. Luckily, we had just enough money on board that it wasn't an affordable thing.
Things are stabilizing.
Okay, United States is stable.
Violence is abating. Things are cooling off. Order is returning.
New colony core completed. So the question here is, can I take the mine offline and not completely regret that? I think right now the answer is no. Do a lot of the other upgrades. So we're gonna upgrade the agriculture, or the admin tower, the farm, the battle station. I'm actually just gonna drop a full brand new fusion. Yeah, full new fission reactor to cover the power needs. We have a life science here. I honestly probably don't want life science anymore. Or materials, because those cost volatiles. So upgrade the military one. We've got manufacturing here. If I'm going to keep it, I should upgrade it. And we've got skunk works here. Okay. So I'm going to actually overwrite the nanofactory, the tier 2 nanofactory, and the tier 2 sciences with tier 3 sciences, but the ones that don't cost any volatiles. Does space science cost volatiles? No. Space is probably up there. Overwrite you with some space. Overwrite you with some space. Overwrite you with some space. And we've actually, in theory, got enough power to power all of that. Some of those are overwrites, though, so I'll go ahead and actually delete one existing power plants and replace it with a fusion one. That should work. And again, I want to kind of stay above 50 volatiles, so we'll revisit this when some of our stuff actually finishes. Because we can upgrade the mine there to increase the amount of volatiles we're producing, but obviously it won't be productive while it's upgrading, is the problem. So I need to wait for some of my construction to actually finish so that I can put upkeep that we'd be spending elsewhere towards that. Alien facility, so we'll probably go some alien facility hunting. Core's done. Now, some of the stuff we're building, I think we're still building. Actually, did they finish? They did finish. So at some point we may want to revisit and upgrade. These are Jupiter mines, which have pretty decent volatiles. We may want to revisit the Jupiter mines. Probably after we get some of the Mars mines done. We'll go to Jupiter next. Well, once we get the Mars mines, we'll go to Jupiter next, is kind of the plan. Okay, so I know you can attack alien structures. They are starting to pile up again, so let's start cutting those down to size.
Taking it to them.
Reporting in. Going in hot.
Let's increase funding using some of our accumulated influence. It's only 2 more credits a day, but good enough, it adds up.
I will help them.
Augmenting combat training. Again, extra military priority. Battery development program should pop up at some point. I suppose the worst case scenario, I could push the EU into Russia. Would be ideal. We could do that. You know, let's just go look in the check tree quickly. Paris, that I'm looking for. I'm surprised Ford Russia is what comes up for that. Unity movements, I think it's Great Nations. Great Europe requires Europe Ascendant, requires okay, so someone has completed Europe Ascendant, so we can't research it. But that's the requirement for your Great Europe. So we might as well at least do Warsaw, because that might be the only way we can merge them. We might have to merge into Russia instead of the other way around. Someone's done the other one. And hasn't done the second one. They've done the first one, haven't done the second one. That's kind of the problem we're running into now. Okay.
Violence is abating.
Order is returning.
Things are stabilizing.
Cadre Development Department, National Investment. We should probably set that as a fair. Should probably do that as well. We are building armies right now. We probably don't want to hold on to a lot of armies in the long run, but we do want some armies. Probably in our major nations, I probably want like one per control point.
Quite
just
a
to hunt the
number.
Xenoform. Xenolife.
The LC is secure.
Here's the restored Warsaw Pact, which was a pretty small one, so I researched pretty quick. We'll do that cadre development program. Again, pretty small to finish real quick. Nope, it sounds like something finished. Granted, oh yeah, bunch of risk works finished. That's what I completed. Okay, we now have executive control in that location.
At your service.
So we want one of you to set national policy in Bangladesh.
On my way to the capital.
Standing by for orders.
Are you off cooldown? Okay, you are at the point where you do federate. So we want to send someone to federate in the EU. Although this will probably...
On my way to
well,
the
actually,
capital.
federating won't
At your
destabilize.
service.
Unifying will destabilize. So I need to be cognizant of that.
Heading to the LC.
Calculator value, negative 0.37. We need that to be positive game. Oh, the struggles. So India's trying to look better. Farm assignments, let some time pass. Ship launched! Okay, so this is the next batch of ships coming off the production line. Should be able to just join... yeah, should be able to join that group. Okay, so I think we got one more batch being built there. And then that fleet will be ready for more combat-oriented work. And the shipyards will be ready to upgrade, yeah. 167 days.
Lending my expertise.
Violence is abating.
Things are cooling off.
Nope. So that one died, so we can move on to the next one. And we're going to just pick one. That's a stack of 5 in Africa. Let's try to deal with that stack.
Policy direction complete.
Federate with Bulgaria. Looks like I could have done federate with Russia as well. Oh, that might be the reason, is because Russia can federate... Oh yeah, they've done the second one. I don't need to go to the Russia one. So, yeah, we can put the EU, or put the Russia into the EU, it looks like. Do repeat and continue, we can federate the Eurasian Union into EU. We're not going to merge them because the EU ain't that stable. But we can be in the opening step to that pretty easily.
Mission complete.
Leave Federation, leave the West African community. Do a repeat and continue, because now that they're out, yeah, they should be federating into India. Finished materials, went social science. Again, we're not on the beta, so we really only care about
Unable
3
to
of them,
destroy target.
which is life science, military, and space. Water purification techniques. I'm surprised I hadn't done that one yet. Surprised it only just popped up, to be fair. Boundary development's done. That probably just wants to be water purification techniques next. Yeah. Not that I need the water, but it's better to have the water and not need it than need it and not have it. 12th of April, that one will be done. That'll be good. Fleet launches for low Earth orbit. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have a romping in Earth orbit soon. I say soon, that's gonna take a while to get here. New battle station at Marshall Station, low Earth. A mine completed, okay. Okay, so we got a big boost in money from a bunch of space hospitals coming online. Space Hospital Hab just came online. And this gives you an idea of how much boost we can burn in a single hab. We burn 30 boost, which is what a monthly positive is basically. Spaceworks and Skanderberg are complete. So what we want to field is a bunch more of those Ranger flagships. Yeah, off of the Spaceworks here. So 185 more days, we'll make another attempt at taking Titan. We'll fly the 7 ships out there and see if we can take it with 7.
Standing by for orders.
Oh, those are the things we can grant independence to. We're not doing that. So yeah, we're sending you after alien assets.
Gear up.
Reporting in.
And checking on you guys with your XP. You probably want to be science. You only have 24 command? Interesting. You only 24 command? We'll give you command then. Oh, yeah, that makes sense because you're the advisor, so you're getting experience real slow. Science. On you. 99, so you can afford a lot. You don't need combat astronaut. We may have been saving up for Puppet Master here. Voice connected. Plus when espionage wouldn't have been detected, okay. $25 across the board, except for science. We'll take 2 on science. There we go. Gotta remember to do that every once in a while, otherwise the counselors just be banking lots of science. Looking at the time, we're probably at the point where we put a part break in for YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to continue where we left off after a short break so I can sip a little bit of tea and try to make sure the nose is clear so I can speak through most of the next part without any breaks to below the nose. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. Probably going to do a little bit more trying to improve our minds, although we've done more probably to harm our volatile influence or volatile income over the last bit of episode than we have done to improve it. What I might be doing is actually, and I might be going through all our mines, or all our tier 1 mines and getting them upgraded to tier 2. Okay, so those are Mars system. This is, yeah, this is Mars system. Because all the new ones we have at Jupiter, I think, are all tier 1. All the ones over at Callisto are all tier 1. So if you get rid of this to tier 2, the period they'll be down upgrading to tier 2 will be bad, but 50% more volatiles is a lot, and upgrading from tier 1 to tier 2 is not particularly time intensive. It's at least less than time intensive than tier 2 to tier 3. And the reward is the same going from tier 1 to tier 2 as it is tier 2 to tier 3. But yeah. So with that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.